Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. The Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh, and his only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So we got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekad, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elder bishops and elders of great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. In the sincere salutation to all the I can pushing this truth and believing this truth of the four winds of the earth, the entire world. Shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the outwalk who are listening, learning, you free sisters who are listening, learning. Coming into another lesson in true faith, faith, and edification, and on the day of edification, Lord, witness be edifying. So I titled this lesson, The Judgments Were Written, Signed, and Sealed, Watching Prophecies Manifest. And I was listening to this video from Scott Ritter, and I got a couple of articles. And the judgments that was written, signed, and sealed from the Lord is playing out right now in real time. And as the apostles been prophesying for 35, 40 years, the things that they had been prophesying, especially the major prophecies of the MOTB, which is the RFID, micro C-HIP. Major prophecy of World War III brewing up. Yahweh Shah said in Matthew 24, there shall be wars and rumors of wars. So we hear of these rumors of wars. Which are these small proxy wars? You got Babylon the Great America defending Ukraine from Russia. They defending Taiwan from China. And they are defending Israel from Iran. So these prophecies is really happening. These judgments, these prophecies that's happening was already written before. That's what I tell you in Romans 15:4. The things were written a time ago. So I want to play this video, and I got two articles I want to show, because these Edomites is boasting. America is boasting of their military might. First, I want to show this. So check this out.
In a sobering analysis of the recent Iranian strike on Israel's Nevatim airbase, former U.S. Marine Corps intelligence officer Scott Ritter sheds light on the strategic implications of the attack, which saw at least 7 hypersonic missiles raining down on the strategically significant military installation. Ritter, renowned for his expertise in military intelligence and strategic affairs, delves into the intricacies of Iran's precision strike, which targeted the base housing Israel's prized F-35 fighters. Drawing on his extensive experience in analyzing military tactics and capabilities, Ritter emphasizes the significance of Iran's successful deployment of hypersonic missiles, a technological leap that caught Israel's defenses off guard. The absence of intercepted Iranian missiles, as noted by Ritter, underscores a critical vulnerability in Israel's air defense systems, exposing a gap that adversaries could exploit in future conflicts. With Nevatim compromised and the F-35 fleet potentially at risk, Ritter stresses the urgent need for Israel to reassess its diplomatic posture and invest in countering emerging threats through peace and not wars. Ritter's analysis serves as a wake-up call for Israeli policymakers and military planners, urging them to confront the reality of evolving security challenges in the region. As tensions simmer in the aftermath of the strike, Ritter warns of the broader implications for regional stability, emphasizing the need for proactive measures to prevent further escalation. As Israel grapples with the fallout from the attack, Ritter's insights offer valuable perspective on the evolving dynamics of Middle Eastern security and the imperative for strategic foresight in safeguarding national interests. With Iran demonstrating its military capabilities on Israel's doorstep, Ritter's analysis underscores the pressing need for concerted efforts to address defense gaps and bolster deterrence in an increasingly uncertain geopolitical landscape.
Let's be clear. What Iran just did is reestablish deterrence. You see, Israel believed that it could launch a strike against Iran and suffer no consequence. That is no longer the case. Right now, Israeli military officials are looking at the damage done to their bases, and they understand the following: that Iran deliberately chose not to inflict extremely lethal action against Israel, that Iran struck buildings designed to send a signal to Israel, and indeed to the United States, that it could do what it did in Nevatim, at Ramona, anywhere in Israel, anywhere in the Middle East. And there was nothing the United States or Israel could do in response. This is deterrence. This means that in the future, if either Israel or the United States plan on carrying out an action against Iran, they have to weigh in the consequences of their actions, knowing that Iran has the capacity to reach out and touch any place, any spot, any target in the region, in Israel or out of Israel, and there's nothing anybody can do to stop that. This is why President Joe Biden has been on the phone with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, telling him, do not retaliate. The United States will not be a partner in any offensive action against Iran. Not because the United States is friendly to Iran, but the United States understands the consequences that will accrue should such an attack take place. You see, the United States has been deterred against further action against Iran. Now, the question is, what will Israel do? Israel has been trying to lead the United States into a larger conflict with Iran for some time now. Indeed, some people have speculated that the Israeli attack against the Iranian consulate in Damascus was designed for just that purpose, to start a spiral of escalation that would ultimately lead to the United States being drawn into a larger conflict between Israel and Iran.
And see, we know this. And that's the beauty of understanding the mind of Yahweh Shema Shah, because this was already written. We make the points like when the Lord said, don't eat pork, the Lord didn't have to give us the details on because it got parasites and whatever else that comes with it, the other ailments. The Lord said, just don't eat it. But then you got some analogists, some analysts, some analysts that go in and say, oh yeah, parasites in the pork, it causes you to have sweet tooths and make you want to eat a bunch of junk. We need to know that. So we can give you the prophecies. We can read to you, thus saith the Lord. But the Lord said these Edomites, like Glenn Beck and Peter Schiff, who own gold and silver, they can go into the details of why they're trying to go back to gold and silver, why the dollar was a fiat currency. It's a Ponzi scheme. We don't got to go into the details. We just read the scriptures. But the Lord, this is why the Lord created the World Wide Web, the unicorn, because the Edomites can go into details, but they don't know why. Glenn Beck and the guy Clay from Redacted can go into details, but they don't know why. And I'm going to prove it because this guy here, this Edomite here, he mentioned some things which I don't want to mention. I'm going to let the video play, Lord willing. I'm going to get the precepts. But I'm going to read this because in Jeremiah, the Lord said this long ago. This is Jeremiah 49 and 20. It reads, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Edom. Now I say it words it different in Jeremiah 45. It reads, therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Edom, and his proposes that he have proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Now when you go to Jeremiah 45, Jeremiah, I'm sorry, Jeremiah 50, was it 51? Let's read this one, Jeremiah 50, Salakia. This Jeremiah 50 and 45, it reads, it don't say Edom in this verse. It say, therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Babylon, America, because the elites control the world from America. That's why the UN is here. Therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he have taken against Babylon, and his proposes that he have proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. The Edomites are the modern day Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And we know this. Here's another precept. When you go to 2nd Ezra 11:39, we're talking about to burn a hole in this because I read this so much. 2nd Ezra 11:39, are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them, right? The end of their times going to come through them. What did the Lord say again in Jeremiah 51? Let's read this again. Jeremiah 50 and 45. It reads, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them.
But the Iranians were very clever in designing their response, just like they did when they retaliated against the United States for the assassination of Qasem Soleimani back in 2020. At that time, Iran launched over a dozen missiles against the Al-Assad air base in Iraq. Those missiles struck the air base with extreme precision, but Iran had given the United States advance notice that that base was going to be struck. The United States was able to put its people into bunkers, and Iran ended up destroying empty buildings. But it demonstrated to the United States that it had the capacity to strike any American base in the region with extreme precision and kill as many Americans as they wanted, if they wanted to do that. And America was deterred against future action of that sort. Will Israel be deterred? Again, the Israelis are waking up today, looking at the damage done, understanding that there isn't a place in Israel today that's safe from Iranian ballistic missile attack. That means that Israel understands that any escalation could mean the destruction of Israel. Israel probably isn't going to launch a response against Iran. Israel has been deterred from launching that response by the Iranian actions. And in this case, we could say that Operation True Promise was an extraordinarily successful operation, not only for Iran, but indeed for the world, because Iranian deterrence now is a reality that can hold Israel and the United States in check.
Every impartial observer affirms that Israel initiated the strike against Iran. Had restraint been exercised, the world wouldn't be teetering on the brink as it is now. Israel sought to test Iran's resolve and deterrence, only to realize that strategic patience and diplomacy should prevail over aggression. Despite unprecedented support from the United States, Jordan, France, and the United Kingdom, the Islamic Republic has proven its deterrence capability by striking Israel. This move has reshaped its position on the deterrence scale. What's needed now is for Israel to temper its rhetoric and pursue peace through diplomacy and restraint. Scott Ritter's insights are invaluable in this context.
This was a war Israel was never going to win because it's predicated upon the military.
After this video, your life is never going to be the same. So I need you to stop whatever you're doing.
Destruction of Hamas and the political destruction of Hamas. Hamas today continues to resist. Israel hasn't destroyed it. We can't put a percentage on what level of destruction Hamas has suffered. About a month ago, the United States said they believed that 35% of Hamas's military capacity was destroyed. In reporting to Nasrallah, the Al-Qassam Brigade said 10%. of their capacity had been destroyed. What's the truth? Somewhere in between that. More, I don't know, but they haven't been destroyed. 6 months in, Hamas is still resisting. Israel has succeeded in depopulating certain parts of Gaza. But then what happened? They had the troops there, and Hamas kept popping out of holes, killing them. It was a death by 1,000 cuts. You can't, what are you going to bomb? There's nothing left to bomb. They bombed all the civilians. They bombed everything. They've committed their cultural and ethnic genocide by moving 1.6 million people into the Rafah area. But Hamas is still everywhere killing the Israelis. Meanwhile, Israel went off and committed its, crime against the Iranians, blowing up the consulate in Damascus. The Iranians now are saying they will retaliate. Now, here's the problem. If Iran retaliates and strikes Israel, Israel says they're going to strike Iran. When that happens, all bets are off. Hezbollah goes to war against Israel. It's all over. Big, big war that Israel can't win. Israel has stress test itself. The reason why I say Israel can't win is because Israel...
See, these are called rumors of wars, man. Yahweh Shah said that.
Has prepared for this. They actually did 2 consecutive major exercises. Last year's, I think, was called Chariots of Fire, where they stress tested their system, meaning they were fighting everybody at the same time. But you see, remember we were talking about Christopher Cavoli and imagining war? The war that the Israelis imagined was a full-scale war with Hezbollah on the Lebanese border, a war where Syria made an effort at the Golan Heights, and a war where Iran intervened to help that. But when it came to Hamas in the West Bank, they expected there would be sort of a new intifada in the West Bank, but that could be suppressed with a handful of troops acting very violently to keep it down. Gaza, they just said, Hamas may come out and blow up a couple things, but fire some rockets, but Gaza will be under control. So very little military force needed to keep the Palestinians under control. All military force focused on Hezbollah, Syria, Iran. And they still lost. I just want to let everybody know that the Israelis in the end lost. They don't have the ability to win that war. So now Israel's getting ready to have that war. But 60% of their military was tied down in Gaza. So the calculations that they made that said we won't need military power in Gaza were wrong. All the military power they needed up here, even though they lost, was now down here. So what did Israel do? They pulled the troops out of Gaza. They took these maneuver brigades up and parked them near the Lebanese border, where they're resting, they're refitting, they're repairing, and they're in readiness in case there is this war, which they'll lose because they can't win it. But if those troops were in Gaza, tied down, fighting an enemy that they can't defeat, they would just lose the war against Hezbollah even quicker. So if they know that Iran might retaliate, they know that it might lead to a escalation that requires Israel to fight a major conflict with Hezbollah, but they didn't have sufficient forces for that. So they had to pull these units out and move them up there. Now, if the situation happens where there isn't a major war, that Iran retaliates, but Israel says, okay, we accept this retaliation. Maybe we only hit a place here and they keep it, escalation under control. You don't get a major war that doesn't erupt a major conflict with Hezbollah. Then these units can be brought back and used against Rafah if necessary. So that's what's going on. But
and this is why they're going to need Babylon the Great's army. Joel 2:20, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, America's army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate. With his face towards the east sea, the Persian Gulf, and his hinder parts towards the utmost sea, the Red Sea, and his thing shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. The great things is America, Salakia. The great things is the elites has perfected their wickedness. They have perfected the sword in this last great white hope empire.
But the fact is, we see the coalition falling apart.
Right.
Because let me put it this way. In the history of U.S.-Israeli relations, especially the modern history, since Camp David, no American president has been elected on a platform that opposes Israel. And no Israeli prime minister has stayed in power on a platform that opposes the United States. We have a situation here where Joe Biden has made it clear, because Joe Biden's worried about his election. If Israel goes into Rafah, that's it. Joe Biden will never win the election. It'll be all over. Biden knows this. So now he is saying, in order for me to even be viable in November, I have to oppose Israel. It's unprecedented. Oppose. And this means that there will be consequences for Israeli action. Benjamin Netanyahu's sitting there saying, I got to stay in power. The moment I stop being in power, I leave, they're going to arrest me and charge me with corruption and put me in jail. And then they're going to do a trial and put me on trial for what happened on October 7th. And the whole world may come after me. My only way of being viable is to remain as prime minister. But in order to remain prime minister, I have to keep this ruling coalition together of right-wing fanatics, including the guy you just mentioned, whose name I would butcher if I tried to say. Ben-Gvir, I think you said was.
Ben-Gvir.
Yeah, I'm not very good with names, so you got to forgive me. There's a great meme. I don't know. I spent a long time mispronouncing Bab el-Mandeb and fumbled it. And somebody, a very clever person, did a great meme that mocked me for it, and I appreciated it. But I'm linguistically challenged at times. So, but anyways, this coalition's an unsustainable coalition. So, Netanyahu is in a damned if you do, damned if you don't position right now. If he goes against Rafah, he's going to lose American help, and that's going to destroy him because the Israelis will sweep him out of power. The moment the United States cuts off military aid to Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu will be thrown out of power by Israelis who know they can't survive without American aid. So he's playing a game where he's just trying to play each other off. But the moment he kowtows to American pressure, the coalition will collapse and he'll be swept from power. So what sustains him? A larger war with Iran and Hezbollah. That allows him to avoid the Rafah issue, and it compels America to continue to provide weaponry. This is a very dangerous situation that we're in because we've allowed one man, Benjamin Netanyahu, to put his personal survivability politically and, to be honest, physically, because if he goes to jail, he's going to die in jail. He's not a man in good health. And he's going to sacrifice everything, including Israel, for this. I wish the Israelis would wake up and understand what this man is doing to them. I hope America is waking up and coming to that sense. I think the world is starting to come to that sense. The most evil man in the world today is named Benjamin Netanyahu. He's the greatest threat to international peace and security that has ever existed in modern times because he is, again, I just want to reemphasize to people, a conflict between Israel and Iran isn't just a conflict between Israel and Iran. It becomes a regional conflict that'll bring in an energy capacity, energy security capacity, and overall economic thing. The Iranians will shut down the Strait of Hormuz, which means none of you are getting oil. Bab el-Mandeb will also be shut down. None of you are going to get any container ships. If you attack Iran's oil infrastructure, Iran will destroy all oil infrastructure. So nobody's going to get oil. And now we're all sitting here in America, thinking life's great, $3.46 a gallon. It's a little high, but, we can do it. We've adjusted to that. But what happens when it becomes $12 a gallon because the price of oil has gone crazy? What happens when there's no diesel? And all those trucks that drive the food around America go, well, we can't drive anymore. We don't have any diesel. And if they can't drive the food, that means going to, Hannaford or Price Chopper or Safeway to go grocery shopping. You're going to go and the shelves are going to be empty because there ain't going to be nothing there.
See, they can go into detail. We go into prophecy. The full storehouses shall be suddenly found empty. This is what he's saying. But we already know this. They just can go into details. Listen.
Go to Walmart. There's always something at Walmart. No, there won't be anything at Walmart because the trucks ain't arriving. And suddenly your life sucks. Suddenly you're hungry. You don't have the things that make life livable. Your salary isn't going to go up. It's going to be
hold on. Then the Lord said in Isaiah 3:1, he would take away the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. Yeah, 2/3 ain't going to have no comfort. So when you read that in Isaiah 3:1, the Lord said he's going to take away the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water, right? A staff is something that you can lean on. That's your support, right? Well, when you read Isaiah 36:6, it said, lo, thou trusting in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So you're going to have those to lean on the staff of Babylon the Great, the so-called white man. Then you're gonna have the hopeful elect that's gonna lean on Yahweh Shema Shai, and we are being trained for that now, cause this is gonna happen. And it's Edomites on top of Edomites on top of Edomites that tell you famine is coming. Why you see this nigga? What's this nigga name? This Edomite. Uh, he be doing lessons after lessons. It's so many of them. I can't call his name. But then you got the farmer guy with wearing a hat with his wife. They all off the grid, man. Or they playing a role like they off the grid because they are prepping for this time that's coming. We spiritually prepping. So whoever the elect is in that time ain't gonna need no food. But you got these people that's prepping now, thinking they're gonna be covered because they got bunkers and food, man. He just mentioned to you two prophecies. The grocery store ain't gonna have no food, so you're gonna be hungry. That's a famine, man. Hold on, there's more.
All blown on this. You're going to see people unable to pay their mortgages, a collapse in the housing industry. I mean, we're talking the end of the.
Well, they got America. Why he got America behind him, lighting up in rainbow colors? This place got to go, man.
Economic world as we know it. So
Hold
for all
on.
those,
Let's run that back, Lord willing. Let's run that back.
going to be nothing there. Go to Walmart. There's always something at Walmart. No, there won't be anything at Walmart because the trucks ain't arriving. And suddenly your life sucks. Suddenly you're hungry. You don't have the things that make life livable. Your salary isn't going to go up. It's going to be all blown on this. You're going to see people unable to pay their mortgages, a collapse in the housing industry. I mean, we're talking the end of the economic world as we know it. So for all those idiots out there that are cheering this on, all you pro-Israeli people, it's time for Israel to take out Iran. Shut up.
Shalom, beloved. Yahweh Shema Shai Barakatah. Shalom to all the Akim Akwa tuning in. Yahweh Shema Shai Barakatam. All you beloved Akim and Akwa.
For all you people out there who are anti-Israel, it's time for the Iranians to pound Israel. Shut up. You're messing with my life. You're messing with the life of my family, my friends, my community.
See?
The world doesn't it could possibly happen.
I done messed up. Hold on. I gotta figure out how to get back my other page. Hold on, bear with me. Got a little excited just then. Okay, so what he just said, let's play this again. Let me run this back. Because what we talk about all the time is the so-called white man, the elites have taken away the generational wealth and white privilege from their people. Let's back this up.
Family, my friends, my community.
Hold on. Let me go back further now. See, this is what's happening, man. They have taken away that great white hope. That generational wealth and white privilege is gone, man. So this is these type guys talking trash to the elites.
The things that make life livable. Your salary isn't going to go up. It's going to be all blown on this. You're going to see people unable to pay their mortgages, a collapse in the housing industry. I mean, we're talking the end of the economic world as we know it. So for all those idiots out there that are cheering this on, all you pro-Israeli people, it's time for Israel to take out Iran. Shut up. And for all you people out there who are anti-Israel, it's time for the Iranians to pound Israel. Shut up. You're messing with my life. You're messing with the life of my family, my friends, my community. The world does not need a war between Israel and Iran. It's the worst thing that could possibly happen at this point in time. So quit cheering for it and quit supporting Benjamin Netanyahu. That man's holding the whole world hostage for his little personal, he's 76 years old. He's in bad health. He's going to die soon anyway. Get the hell out of office. Give him a pardon. Give him a damn pardon. Just say, Benjamin, you're pardoned. Go die. But get the hell out of here so we don't die.
when they attack, Iran would attack Israel.
Retaliation for that. They don't understand the Islamic. Very difficult for the Muslim world to rally around Iran in this struggle during Ramadan. The day after Ramadan, not so difficult anymore. So I think that the Western media.
Salakia, bear with me for a second. Hold on here. Bear with me. Because I had double clicked, so the video switched out. Hold on.
That man's holding the whole world hostage for his little personal. Yeah, he's 76 years old. He's in bad health. He's going to die soon, anyways. Get him the hell out of office. Give him.
When they attacked the Iranian consulate in Syria, right after that, they said that Iran would attack.
You know what the month of Ramadan is?
Yeah.
So in the month of Ramadan, you think Iran's going to go to war against Israel? Or would they wait until Eid Fitr? That's today, right? It's the end of Ramadan. I'll tell you what. Now we can probably talk about Iran striking Israel within 24 to 48 hours. Look of Iran. They don't understand the Muslim world. It's going to be very difficult for the Muslim world to rally around Iran in this struggle during Ramadan. The day after Ramadan, not so difficult anymore. So
hey, it's spiritual because them Antiochus, them bastards came against us on the Sabbath day, man. That's spiritual in itself to understand that.
It's like that.
But we know how much Netanyahu is in love with bringing the United States into the conflict. Is there any chance out there for the Netanyahu administration to bring in the United States into the conflict in the Middle East?
Never has been. It's a false premise on the part of Iran. It goes back to Obama, where they were and the reason why Obama went and did the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal, is that he had gotten boxed into a rhetorical corner. Because he bought into the Israeli rhetoric. No, one spinning centrifuge is a problem. It's a nuclear program. If Iran doesn't give up its nuclear program, we'll have no choice but to, get rid of it ourselves. And Iran went, we're not getting rid of it. And the Israelis like, see, it's a bad threat. It's a bad threat. You guys got to be ready. Don't worry. Next thing you know, Obama's sitting there going, damn, we only have one option now. And that's to do what the Israelis want us to do, is attack Iran. But we can't do that. So they did the deal. They did the deal that a year prior to that, nobody was talking about. Nobody thought it could happen. They did the deal. Why? We're not going to go to war against Iran for Israel. That just is never going to happen. Never going to happen. I'll say it one more time just to make the emphasis. The United States of America will never go to war against Iran on behalf of Israel. We're not going to let the Israelis have that kind of control over not only our future, but the world's future. I just
see that. See, that's pride, man. But not understanding the scriptures, you a dead man. These nations are dead, man. Because thus saith the Lord. Let me get this. And this is Isaiah is Isaiah 21:1. It reads, "The burden of the desert of the sea, as whirlwinds in the south pass through, so it cometh from the desert, from a terrible land. A grievous vision is declared unto me. The treacherous dealer dealeth treacherously, and the spoiler spoileth." Who is that? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. "Go up, O Elam, besiege, O Media. All the sign thereof have I made to cease. Therefore are my loins filled with pain. Pains have taken hold upon me, as the pains of a woman that travaileth. I was bowed down at the hearing of it." The hearing of what? The destruction. How bad it's going to get. "I was dismayed at the seeing of it. My heart panted. Fearfulness affrighted me. The night of my pleasure have he turned into fear unto me. Prepare the table, watching the tower." This is what the whole elect men is doing. The Lord say, "Prepare the table before us in the presence of our enemies." That's what King David said. Habakkuk said it, right? "Make it plain upon tables," the Lord said. Prepare. This is Isaiah 21:5. Prepare the table, right? So we can understand the prophecy that's going on. It was written down. Watch in the watchtower. Eat, drink, arise, ye princes, and anoint the shield. Hey, watching. Whatever you got to do, you doing it as you watching. You got to go to the plantation. You eat. You got to sleep. You got to drink. Watch the prophecies. Prepare the table. Watch in the watchtower. Eat, drink, arise, ye princes. Who? Ye princes, and anoint the shield. Right? Let's put on the whole armor of Yahweh Shema Shah. For thus hath the Lord said unto me, Go, set up a watchman, let him declare what he seeth. And what we seeth is World War III brewing. And the main heads of this war will be Iran and Russia. It said, besiege. It said, "Go up, O Elam, and besiege, O Media." This is verse 7. "And he saw a chariot with a couple of horsemen." Who? A couple of horsemen, a chariot of asses, and a chariot of camels. And he hearkened diligently with much heed. And he cried, "A lion, my lord. I stand continually upon the watchtower in the daytime, and I am set in my ward whole nights. And behold, here come a chariot of men." I tell you in Jeremiah 50:9, there's assembly of great nations joined to the BRICS, joined to Russia. "And behold, here come a chariot of men with a couple of horsemen." That'll be Iran and Russia. "And he answered and said, Behold," and he answered and said, "Babylon is fallen, and all the graven images of her gods he have broken unto the ground." Verse 2 said, "Go up, O Elam." That's Iran. "Besiege, O Media." That's the Russians today. "All the sign thereof have I made to cease." We watching this play out, man.
Explain to you the consequences of regional conflict. We're not going to commit suicide.
Yes, you is. We just read it. Jeremiah 50:45, the Lord say, "The least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them." It's the Edomites that's drawing out the Edomites. Let me get this in Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel 28 in verse 7. It reads, "Behold, therefore will I bring strangers upon thee." Who, Lord? "The terrible of the nations." Who are the terrible out of all these nations? It'll be the Russians. "And they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness." See, who are the terrible of the nations? It's Russia, man, and Iran. The same two nations that took down ancient Babylonian Empire, man.
Suicide on behalf of Israel.
Hold on, let's run it back. He said we will not commit suicide on behalf of Israel. Yes, you is.
Nuclear program. If Iran doesn't give up its nuclear program, we'll have no choice but to, get rid of it ourselves. And Iran went, "We're not getting rid of it." And the Israelis like, "See, it's a bad threat. It's a bad threat. You guys got to be ready. Don't worry, Israel, we're with you. Iran, you need to give up." "We're not giving it up." Next thing you know, Obama's sitting there going, "Damn, we only have one option now. And that's to do what the Israelis want us to do, is attack Iran. But we can't do that. So they did the deal. They did the deal that a year prior to that, nobody was talking about. Nobody thought it could happen. They did the deal. Why? We're not going to go to war against Iran for Israel. That just is never going to happen. Never going to happen. I'll say it one more time just to make the emphasis. The United States of America will never go to war against Iran on behalf of Israel. We're not going to let the Israelis have that kind of control over not only our future, but the world's future. I just explained to you the consequences of regional conflict. We're not going to commit suicide, economic suicide on behalf of Israel, especially by starting a war that can be avoided. So Netanyahu and the entire Israeli military leadership, they know they can't go to war against Iran unless the United States partners with Israel. We're not going to know it's fault. There doesn't need to be a conflict. Iran didn't start this. Israel did. And we will never go to war against Iran.
Hey, Shalom Zakwan, Yabashim Shah Brakatah. That's the elder brother. You want a thon, I bought out of one. Jim is right off to subscribe to the elder channel, man. He's one of the elders, man. Subscribe to the elder channel.
On behalf of Israel, because the consequences of that conflict are too big. And we will advise everybody to stay the hell out of this fight. History tied to a Bible that's deeply flawed.
Here we go.
I mean, we only have to start talking about, there's
Listen to this now. This way got good for me at. Listen.
It's just made up crap, most of it.
Because I want to be quiet. I want you to hear what he say. Let's back up.
Everybody will stay out of this fight, and Israel will pay the price. And it's high time that Israel learn the hard lesson.
You see, what they don't understand is all you Edomites is finna learn this hard lesson, man. See, they separate this. They've been doing this. You got the Zionists and the Christians. No, they Edomites and we Christians. No, all of y'all are Edomites. Listen to this Edomite. This is beautiful.
That they're just a tiny little insignificant country in the Middle East.
See, he said a tiny little insignificant. That's in Obadiah, right? That's in Obadiah. When the Lord said he made them small among the heathen, when you go to the word small, it say insignificant. You can't detach yourself from being the Dukes of Edom, you slow belly nigga, because you ain't one of the higher ups. You still an Edomite. Nigga, you still benefited from generational wealth and white privilege, you Edomite. The great white hope.
History tied to a Bible that's deeply flawed. I mean, we only have
Wow, that's deeply flawed. Lies. Hold on. In Psalms, I'm gonna let it ride. In Psalms 12 and 6, it reads, the words of Yahweh are pure words, as silver tried in the furnace of earth, purified 7 times. Thou shalt keep them, O Yahweh. Thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. Hold on. Psalms. Niggas say flawed. Yeah, for you Edomites, because you don't understand. Psalms 33 and 4. For the word of Yahweh is right, and all his works are done in truth.
We're talking about, the lineage of Moses and how Israeli scholars through the years manufactured it to explain the transition from the Levites to something, a high priest, and all. It's just made up crap, most of it. I'm not trying to be anti-religion, but even the religious people say, yeah, this stuff's just made up. Somebody just made this stuff up. And a lot of Israel's claim to the Holy Land is based upon manufactured biblical reality. We're going to let those people destroy all of our lives?
See, they
Not on
think
your
these are the people of the Bible over there in the land of the that's not the Holy Land. That's called the state of Israel. I said from now on, I gotta make sure I say that's the state of Israel that was created through the British in the Rothschilds in 1947. Them ain't the people. So now Edomites, see, we talk about this all the time at camp. So now Edomites is pointing finger at the elites, but he ain't gonna say it. But that's who he talking about.
life. Not on your life. It isn't going to happen. Well, remember, the only reason why Erdogan's doing this now is he just had they had local elections where where his ruling party, for the first time since they came in power in 2001, didn't get the majority of the popular vote. I think the CHP got 36%, AKP got 35% of the vote. But they also, one of the reasons that they did poorly is that, to win the presidential and parliamentarian elections, the AKP created a coalition of parties so that they didn't have to meet the I forget what the 7% vote threshold or something like that to qualify to be member of the parliament. So these guys got seats in the parliament because of that. But some of these guys backed away from the AKP, and friends, there's an extreme Islamist party that broke away, and that cost the AKP some provinces, some governorships, some mayoral stuff. And the other thing too is that just the overall state of the economy and resentment against Aragon.
I made over 6 figures trading without even looking at the charts, without spending hours glued to the screen, and without
How often be burned low belly Edomite?
For Israeli policy just caused a lot of AKP supporters to stay home. The vote, the turnout was low compared to normal turnout. And so Erdogan's looking at that and saying, okay, the way I need to salvage this situation is to win back those voters who I lost because of my policies on Israel. So he's putting this stuff in. But a lot of the products you're talking about are refined products. But has he shut down the pipeline out of Azerbaijan? That's the key question. Does Azeri oil still flow to a Turkish port and get put on a ship and shipped to Israel, who then can refine these products on their own? And until he does that, it's not a game changer.
See how he mentioned Turkey, the Turkish president? Well, that's in Ezekiel 38, man. It said Gomer, the house of Togomar. That's the Turkey, man. Anyway, all prophecy, man.
He has to shut down Azeri oil to Israel. Now, it may be the public will put pressure on him to do that. But where's the equivalent election in Saudi Arabia? Oh, they don't have it. So how can the people put pressure on the Saudi Arabian government? I mean, because now it's different because there is no democratic outlet for frustration. There would be, violence in the streets. Are we there yet? Not yet. Where's the pressure in Jordan? Are they going to throw the Hashemite king out in Jordan like the Iraqis did in Iraq in the 1940s? Not yet. Egypt. Where's the public uprising against Egypt, throwing Sisi out on the street? Not yet. So I think that we're a long way away from the Arab street having meaningful impact on their governments, so that these kind of embargoes. Because here's the thing: I think it will happen eventually. I think Israel's finished as a nation state. I think that they have created the conditions for their own demise. In order to survive, Israel needed to have this India, Middle East economic corridor connectivity between India through the Middle East, through Israel into Europe. Israel, if you remember, Benjamin Netanyahu in September at the General Assembly debate stood up and he didn't have the drawing of the Iranian bomb that he normally had. He had a map that showed the role that Israel was playing in this connectivity, and that connectivity implied normalization of relations, diplomatic and economic interaction, and Israel was going to serve as this economic hub, the thriving economy that would lead Israel to great things. That is never going to happen. It's
The back
finished.
of him
There will
saying it's finished. Let me read this. Ezekiel 35. This is Ezekiel 35 in verse 10. And it reads, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy. See, the so-called white man envy us, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, against the Israelites, the real Israelites. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and I have heard all the blasphemy which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth have you boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh shall power. When the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. And the whole earth is going to rejoice when the so-called white man is annihilated. Of course, after hardcore slavery. Put these chains on, boy. Get back to work. Turn those big rocks to little rocks all day, every day.
never be an India, Middle East economic corridor that goes through Israel. That's over. And the Houthi have shown the Achilles heel of Israel by shutting down the Bab el-Mandeb. I keep saying it because I finally pronounce it right, costing Israel billions of dollars in trade. Israel will never recover from this, and the global isolation will stay forever because Israel will continue to resist the creation of a Palestinian state. And so what's going to happen is life in Israel is going to become unlivable. All these American guys to live the nice, they're not going. Israel's not going to be able to sustain that lifestyle anymore. So they're going to flee by the millions.
Where they gonna go at? Where they gonna go at? They going into the bunkers. He said they gonna flee. Listen to where he said they gonna go.
Going back home, and what's going to be left is the pathetic few.
Hey, this is exciting. Hold on, man. I gotta back this up, man. He said they gonna flee. Where they going? Isaiah 24. Tell you that they gonna go in the bunkers, man.
Flew to Israel to live in their high rise, to live the nice life and sip their coffee and eat their kebab or whatever they do. They're not. Israel's not going to be able to sustain that lifestyle anymore. So they're going to flee by the millions, going back home.
And back to Europe. No, they ain't going back to the caves. They ass is going in chains, boy.
Nowhere to go. And therefore, the only route of survival is to be absorbed by a singular Palestinian.
Yep. And that's Yahweh Shah. See how they can speak prophecy? They don't know what they talk about. He said the Bible is garbage.
Entity. That's the future of Israel. They did it to themselves. They did it to themselves. Their arrogance, their murderous genocidal policies against the Palestinians has caught up with them.
Yep.
And so
this is Numbers 35 and 33. Yep. Oh, and the precept to Numbers 35 and 33 is Habakkuk. Let me read this one. Habakkuk 2 and 12. And it reads, woe to him that built up a town with blood and established a city by iniquity. How did they get the state of Israel? By blood and iniquity, man. Go read Numbers 35 and 33.
What the rest of the world does isn't going to change that outcome. It could accelerate that outcome. And there may come a point in time where Saudi Arabia decides that it will, open its skies to Houthi missiles. Already the Iranians are starting to fire weapons. They blew up a oil refinery.
And Saudi Arabia has joined to the BRICS. America's #1 ally. Saudi Arabia was America's #1 ally. This is how the crude oil was formed with the petrodollar, man. Now they done separated from Babylon the Great. Your brother put a precept up in Isaiah 13. Now they joined the BRICS. So now, guess who's left with America as an ally other than NATO? It's Japan. Japan and South Korea is the two that's joined to America. Well, Japan wants some get back too. Them niggas still celebrate Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. They won't get back too, Esau.
In Haifa the other day. Israel's finished. It's over for Israel. I mean, they haven't been counted out yet, but there's no way Israel's going to survive this struggle. And that's
and we know that. The Lord said that place got to be cleansed off with fire. It's in the scriptures, man. It will be, I just read it to you. It will be made desolate. The Lord said, prophesy against Israel, man, in Isaiah 36. Hold on, man. Hold on. This is Isaiah 36 in verse 1. It reads, I'm sorry. I said Isaiah. Ezekiel. Let me go back. Moving too fast. A little excited. Ezekiel 36:1. Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, Ye mountains of Israel, hear the words of Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord power, because the enemy have said against you, Aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Therefore prophesy and say, Thus saith Yahweh power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye may be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord power. Thus saith Yahweh power, to the mountains and to the hills and to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and arisen to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Who's in our land? Edomites, Ishmaelites, and Elamites. Thus saith Yahweh, the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with the despiteful minds to cast it out as a prey. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, Thus saith Yahweh Shema shall power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Shema shall power, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen are round about you, they shall bear their shame. Huh? What, Lord? They shall bear their shame. See, we already know this.
Genius of what Hamas did on October 7th. Nobody wants to talk about that genius, but everybody knows that there's a October 6th reality and there's a post-October 7th reality. The post-October 7th reality is Israel's finished.
How do you see the role of Netanyahu and his administration that were in power for so long in Israel? And
that's all I wanted from that. They finished, man. Words to the Edomites. Let me pull this up. Let me get let's get these precepts. Oh, as a matter of fact, Salakia, I want to show these two articles. And this is what Esau gonna fuck with me at right here. They always get me on these articles. So right here it say, New York Times, NATO puts on a show of force in the shadow of Russia's war. What? This a rumor to war. Thus if Yahweh Shah said, the alliance's largest exercise offer a preview of what the opening of a great power conflict could look like. How it ends is a different story. And yes, we know you can show it look real good. Let me get off that. I ain't finna read none of the article, Esau. You bastard sitting over there at Google, so you don't gotta freeze my channel up. I got one more right here. Now this is one the brother Kazak Bunny Howard sent me today, which goes right with that, with the article I just showed. So this one say Russia issues tariff host nuclear weapons. So the article I showed you, I had that yesterday. And the brother Kazak Bunny Howard, the brother always sending me that firewater. So they said after that was showed about NATO flaunting they power against Russia, Putin fired back and said Russia issued terrified warning. Just come on back to me. Let's get out of here. Cause he about to start freezing. Let me pull this blue letter. Go and get these precepts. Cause these things already written 4 time ago for our learning. See, Scott Ritter can go into all the details, but they don't got the breakdown. Now, the judgment. Oh, I do want to play some more of that article because he mentioned. Matter of fact, you know what? Before I do this, let me go back to this because he mentioned Amalek. That's what I want to get to. Salakia. Let me oh, he said I'm blacking the screen now. Oh man. Here we go. Bear with me. He saw them black my screen out. Bear with me here. Hold on. Salakia. Esau had black my screen out on my side. Let me play some more of this because Scott Ritter mentions Amalek. That Amalek is the them Palestinians over there. Let's play some more of this. I gotta play some more of this. Bear with me. And I want to get into this too before I get these precepts. This is gonna be a long one. If you ain't in for the long run, you might well leave now. For the video, 41 minutes and 20 seconds. He mentioned Amalek. Check this out.
This perception on the part of Israelis, because at the end of the day, they have to understand they have to get along with Turkey, with these Arab states.
No, they don't. They don't believe they have to get along. They're mad at Netanyahu for being weak on October 7th. They're mad at Netanyahu for being weak in terms of getting the hostages back. But they support the genocidal policy in Gaza. Why? Because political Zionism is about the supremacy of Jews. And the supremacy of Jews is linked to biblical references. For instance, why is Netanyahu talking about Amalek?
Here we go.
And the Amalekites? Because the Jewish people committed genocide against the seed of Amalek. It started with Samuel.
He said the Jewish people committed genocide against the seed of Amalek. No, they didn't. See, but this is because the so-called white man don't understand our history, our customs. What do you mean the Jewish people committed genocide? No, they didn't. And he finna tell you himself. So this show you he's a double-minded ass Edomite. Listen to this nigga, man.
Bring Saul to kill King Agag and all of the Amalekites. Biblical reference.
So how is that genocide if the Lord told him, right? The Lord told Saul to kill all the Edomites. One more time. They don't know what's going on, man. The niggas just be talking, man. Hey, they can stick to analysts and missiles and the way the world is, but they do not understand prophecy.
Talking about Amalek and the Amalekites, because the Jewish people committed genocide against the seed of Amalek. It started with Samuel ordering Saul to kill King Agag and all of the Amalekites. Biblical reference. And he didn't. And God punished them for this. But the seed of Amalek left and went on and became the advisor to the king of Babylon, who married.
Now he just said he ain't believe in the Bible. He said it was faulty. But let's listen. He said Amalek became counselors to the king of Babylon. Right? One more time.
And he didn't. And God punished them for this. But the seed of Amalek left and went on and became the advisor to the king of Babylon, who married a Jewish girl named Esther. Haman, his name was. And he was conspiring to kill all the Jews in Babylon. But Esther got the king to flip the script. And instead of the Jews being slaughtered, they finished the job. They annihilated the seed of Amalek. Haman and 75,000 of his followers were slaughtered by the Jews in a genocidal frenzy that is celebrated every year in the holiday of Purim.
So he mentioned in our history what happened with Mordecai and Esther. Huh? This ain't talking about you Edomites, man. But anyway, it's beautiful to hear this. But then you said the Bible was faulty. It's fiction. It's made up. Why are you quoting this?
Jews celebrate genocide every year. Now, more rational Jews say it's we're not celebrating genocide. We're celebrating the survival of the Jewish race, the perseverance, the resilience. We're proud of the fact that we could survive under these things. Okay, that's cool, but it's still genocide. They get
Thus saith the Lord, man. Thus saith the Lord. Guess what's gonna happen to the Edomites, man? Guess what's gonna happen? You just said it. I ain't gonna say it. You said it, man. The big G. Yep. Obadiah 1 and 18. Hey, grab him by the legs. Toss another one up there. The fire going down. Toss another one. Bigger blaze.
uncomfortable when you push them on that. And they're like, yeah, it's sort of biblical thing. No, we don't really apply it today, except if you live in Israel. The Israelis today.
Even with rising inflation and some of the worst market crashes we've ever seen, we've got people like Jason here who's able to bring in.
Crash, you Edomite. Through.
Today, the political Zionists today who reside in Israel believe in Amalek. That's why the prime minister can say and stay in power. That's why Israeli soldiers sit there and sing about annihilating the sea of Amalek is their biggest mitzvah. That's their path to glory. That's their directive from God to kill the Palestinian people.
Hold on. To show you how bugged out he is. So cause Benjamin Netanyahu, not a J, said that they got to get rid of Amalek. You think that the Palestinians is Amalek? Because he said it. Now nobody else mentioned about this except Scott Riddle. So, which you don't read the scriptures anyway, because he said the Bible is faulty. So, because Benjamin Netanyahu said that they got to get rid of Amalek, you think that's the Palestinians? No. The scriptures say Amalek is the Edomites, the so-called white man, the chief, the Rockefellers, Oppenheimers, DuPonts, Gettys, the Vanderbilts. These Amalek, the chief, those that control every resource on the planet. And you just mad because you are a common Edomite with no generational wealth and white privilege. Probably get a check every month because you was in the military, but you are on the bottom with us. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
That's why over 60% of them support what's going on in Gaza because they're all genocidal, sick maniacs. And they will continue to be genocidal, sick maniacs as long as they have a nation state that sustains that mentality, a nation state grounded in the artificial construct of Jewish supremacy.
Hold on. He don't understand who he talking about, man. He talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man who loves what? Psalms 140:1. It reads, Deliver me, O Yahweh, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together. For what? For war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent's. Adders poison is on their lips. Keep me, O Yahweh, from the hand of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have proposed to overthrow my goings. The proud have hid a snare for me, and cowards they have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me. King David said, verse 2, which imagine mischief in their heart, continually are they gathered together for war. Hold on, let's back that up. Revelation 16:13, it reads, This is Amalek. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, the Roman Empire, and out of the mouth of the beast, the revived Roman Empire, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. The beast is EU, NATO, and America. So you got the dragon, the Roman Empire, the beast, EU, NATO, and America, the beast system, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, which is the Vatican, Rome. For they are spirits of devils they are spirits of deceivers, slanderers, working miracles, which go forth to do what? To go unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world. To do what? To gather them to the battle of the great day of the God Almighty. These are them who are continually set up for war, man. The bloody man, the violent man. You are talking about your elites, Scott Ritter.
Hamas has shown that a Jew dies just like everybody else. You pump enough bullets into a Jewish body, it dies just like a Christian body, just like a Buddhist body,
Hey,
just
he
like
pissed
any
off
body.
about these.
There's no such thing as Jewish supremacy. They are not the chosen people of God. They're humans, just like everybody else. And until the Jews realize that in order to survive, they have to be part of the human race. They have to learn to get along with everybody as equals, not as superiors. There is no supreme law for the Jews. There is no exception. Happen doesn't justify what you're doing today against the people you in the eyes of the world and guarantee the.
So he's trying to separate himself from the Edomites in Israel. He's trying to separate himself from the state of Israel. No, you're Edomite too, Scott. You're Edomite. To condemn them in the eyes of the world. The Lord don't care about the eyes of the world, man. They was condemned from birth, man. And you one of them too. If you are an Edomite, you're gonna be destroyed too, you bastard.
Eradication of this nation state that you're all hoping for, this land of the Jews, will be gone. And if you continue it, and you continue to think that you're separate from humanity, then maybe humanity will treat you as something separate from them.
See, this we're finna get into now about the separation the Lord made Israel over all nations. That's Deuteronomy 14:2. That's Deuteronomy 7:6. 1 Peter 2:9. He finna make this point now. Check this out.
And then we get back to square one where we started, which nobody wants to go to. The Jewish people are their own worst enemies, both those who articulate in favor of Amalek in Palestine and those who are silent as this genocide takes place. If you're a Jew out there, the best thing you could do right now is stand up against Israel and stop this nonsense, because otherwise Israel is going to be the seat of your destruction. I would be surprised if Israel attacked Rafah. The U.S. isn't going to give them a green light. Moreover, I don't think the U.S. is going to come riding to the rescue of Israel.
Yes, it is.
If the consequences that are accrued by attacking Rafah manifest themselves. Now, this could be the end of Israel. Israel cannot defeat Hezbollah. Israel cannot defeat Syria. Israel cannot defeat Iran. If Jordan wants to take over the West Bank once Israel's up there fighting around, and there Jordan will take over the West Bank. If Egypt wants to move in on the Sinai again, Egypt will move in on the Sinai. This could be the physical destruction of Israel. But here it becomes dangerous. Seymour Hersh wrote a book a while ago called The Samson Option. It's about the nuclear program of Israel. And the Samson Option is, again, biblical reference. Why do I keep bringing up the Bible? Because the damn Jewish state of Israel keeps making their entire existence predicated upon genocidal actions in the Bible. The Samson Option, of course, is Samson, who was in the temple, and he brought the temple down because if he's going to die, everybody's going to die. And so under the Samson Option, if Israel is in the process of being physically eradicated, they will fire nuclear weapons off and destroy everybody they can with them. They will bring the house down under the notion that the world isn't going to then therefore allow the destruction of Israel. But we're facing a situation right now because of Israel's genocidal policy that the world will allow the destruction of Israel. Therefore, we could have a scenario where Israeli nuclear weapons are flying. It's a very scary proposition. What are we going to do about it? I mean, this is at this point in time. I mean, the best thing the United States could do is put a cruise missile into Benjamin Netanyahu's residence and kill the guy because he's the greatest threat to world security, international peace and security.
Oh man,
we'll see what happens. Again, this is a sick man, but this is a man who has allowed himself to be hypnotized by right-wing fanatic rabbis into Talmudic nonsense about, death of the pursuer, all this notion of, again, Jewish supremacy, where Palestinians can be called human animals by Israeli officials and not be condemned for it.
All of you are known as dogs. All you 17 heathen nations are known as dogs, man. This is Zonomoth, Numbers 24 and 20. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he shall perish forever. Amalek was the first of the nations that put their hands on us, man. When he came out of Egypt. That's in you got matter of fact, let me read it real quick. I was gonna get them too, but since the brother posted that, let me just read these two precepts. So you got Exodus 17 and 16, it reads. Let's read verse 8. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men and go out and fight with Amalek tomorrow. I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him and fought with Amalek. And Moses and Aaron and Hur went up to the top of the hill. This Israelite here, the brother named Hur, they came out with a show called Ben-Hur. That come from him. This Israelite right here. If you ever saw that movie Ben-Hur, he was strengthened, a mighty man. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed, and when he had let it down, his hand, Amalek prevailed. So the point is to say right here, verse 13, and Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book and rehearse it. Rehearse means to become perfect, man. Over and over. Repetition is the father's skill. And rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. When you read in Deuteronomy 30, 1 through 6, the Lord said, once the blessings and the curses came upon us, and he bring us back to the land, then, verse 7 say, then he gonna put all these things on our enemies. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for memorial in the book and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Yahweh Nisi, for he said, because Yahweh have sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Now this is the one in Deuteronomy 25 and 17. It reads, remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way when you were come forth out of Egypt, which I just read to you in Exodus 17, how he met thee by the way and smote the hindermost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou was faint and weary, and he feared not God. So him talking this, Amalek don't fear the Lord. Therefore it shall be when Yahweh thy power have given thee rest from all thy enemies round about. That's in Deuteronomy 30, 1 through 6. He said once we go through the blessings and the curses, he will bring us back to the land, then he's gonna do away with them. Therefore it shall be when Yahweh thy power have given thee rest from all thine enemies round about. It's in Deuteronomy 30 and 7. In the land which Yahweh power giveth thee for inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it. So we know who Amalek is. It's the Edomites. It's the chief Edomites that control all the resources. And Salaki, the brother, put up on the comment board, the brother Bayan Yashala. But the water. Let's get back to this.
Could you imagine if an American official came out and made a reference to people as human animals? We wouldn't tolerate it. We can't tolerate it. It's so far against what we stand for collectively as a nation. Even in our weakened, morally weakened state, we still wouldn't tolerate that. In Israel, they applaud it. They applaud it. This is the sickness of Israeli society that's becoming manifest for the world. The world is recognizing how sick Israel is. But the problem with this sickness is you can't just excise the cancer. This is a cancer that the moment the knife hits it, it sends its cancerous cells in the form of nuclear weapons around the region
Yep.
to kill everybody. Israel is the greatest threat to international peace that has existed in modern. It's high time for the world to realize.
The Apostle Hall did the video about how this list, right? They got the Israelites on this list of terrorists, right? Well, Scott Ritter just said what? What he just say? Hold on. What he just say? He said somebody else is the worst.
Allowed himself to be hypnotized by right-wing fanatic rabbis into Talmudic nonsense about, death of the pursuer, all this notion of, again, Jewish supremacy, where Palestinians can be called human animals by Israeli officials and not be condemned for it. Could you imagine if an American official came out and made a reference to people as human animals? We wouldn't tolerate it. We can't tolerate it. It's so far against what we stand for collectively as a nation. Even in our weakened, morally weakened state, we still wouldn't tolerate that. In Israel, they applaud it. They applaud it. This is the sickness of Israeli society that's becoming manifest for the world. The world is recognizing how sick Israel is. But the problem with this sickness is you can't just excise the cancer. This is a cancer that the moment the knife hits it, sends its cancerous cells in the form of nuclear weapons around the region.
Hey, and that's why I tell you in Ecclesiastes 10 and 10, the physician coming to cut off a long disease. The disease is the so-called white man, which he don't even understand what's going on.
To kill everybody. Israel is the greatest threat to international peace and security that has existed in modern times.
Israel is the greatest threat to what? International peace and security. This is what Scott Ritter's saying. But then they got a list that said the Israelites is the worst. So who's telling the truth? Somebody lying.
It's high time for the world to realize that Israel has lost the right to exist as a modern nation state. You can't allow this cancerous entity to continue to exist. And if it does,
so this shows you, you know what this shows you? Beautiful point I point out all the time. Everybody pointing fingers at the elites now. So guess what them niggas gonna have to do? You Rothschilds and Oppenheimers and DuPonts and Gettys and Rockefellers, take your ass to them bunkers. That's where you got to go at. Cause men like this, people like this right here, they at your neck like a bow tie. So they're gonna have to flee to them damn bunkers, man. Cause it's coming. The world is gonna look for those that control the resources, those that push in draconian measures throughout the four corners of the earth. You bastards gonna have to run and hide. Thus saith the Lord. Amos 9. Your $1 billion sub yachts. Them these mountain retreats. You got the space station is like a damn Hilton hotel. That's what you're gonna have to go at. Cause these ones out here, these Edomites, these military-minded Edomites that got weaponry, they coming. They coming.
So is allowed to exist, you have to get rid of its nuclear weapons. Well, the fact is, Lloyd Austin is functioning as a Secretary of Defense, and so he can't make policy, especially when policy has been directed down by the White House. So he has to repeat the policy line. But I say this to everybody. We know, thanks to the International Court of Justice, that, and I've talked about it, I've alluded to it. This whole Amalek reference is a genocidal reference to of biblical proportions. And Netanyahu has not only stated Amalek, meaning this, but he has empowered the military to carry out the eradication of the seed of Amalek. And we have this in forms of video and the entire approach, human, animals, the whole thing. So we see the genocidal direction, intent, and activity on the part of the Israelis. Now, it's manifested in 33,000 civilian deaths so far, maybe more. They keep killing them every day. And I've had people say that that 33,000, that's not genocide. We're talking about 2 million Palestinians. 33,000, how could that be genocide? But my response is, let's go to the Wannsee meeting that the Nazis had to come up with the final solution back in World War II. Prior to that, there was no final solution. You couldn't talk about the genocide of the Jews because it hadn't been acted on. But at the Wannsee Protocol said, we're going to kill all the Jews. So that's a statement of intent. Then they sent instructions out to the SS and German entities to implement this, and they began implementing it. At what point in time do we call what happened to the Jews genocide? I'd like to put this out to an Israeli population right now. When do you want to call it genocide? When the first Jew is killed? When the first 1,000 Jews are killed? First 33,000 Jews are killed? No, that's not enough, is it? Simply saying you want to eradicate the Jewish race and wipe them off the face of the earth, but you've only killed 33,000. That's not enough. 1 million? That's only 1/6 of the total that were dead. Is it really genocide if you've only killed 1/6 of it? When does it become genocide? And the answer is the moment they say they want to commit genocide. The Israelis have committed to a genocidal policy. Lloyd Austin is an idiot. He's a morally inept, fundamentally decrepit human being for saying that, because the Israelis have stated a genocidal policy. They've acted on it with intent to kill everybody.
All over the earth, God is raising up a new breed of wealth builders who will use their money to shape the course of world history without building a golden
new breed, and it's the remnant of Israel, man.
Everybody. So Lloyd Austin, I have no use for the man. He's not a man. He's something different.
We know what he is. The Lord called him brute beasts. The Lord said they beasts. The heathen nations is beasts. That's what he is. He ain't a man. The Edomites ain't men. The Japanese and Chinese ain't men. They beasts. Amalek, Ishmael, Elam, Ham, Ammon, and Moab. They are beasts. Let me prove it to you. Psalms. This is Psalms 49. Then let me get these precepts. I'm done with Scott Riddle for the day. This is Psalms 49. The Lord even called 2/3 of Jake brute beast, man. This is Psalms 49. And 20 reads, man that is in honor and understandeth not. That's you, Scott Riddle. Man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. Hold on. What our Lord and Savior, our big brother said, as Solomon, Ecclesiastes 3:18, it reads, I said in my heart concerning the state of the sons of men, that God may manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. For that which befall the sons of men befalleth beasts. Even one thing befalleth them, as one dieth, so dieth the other. Yeah, they have all one breath, so that a man have no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. So, as it said in Psalm 49, they that's what? Being honored. Psalms 49. Let me get this one. Psalms 49 and 10. For he seeth that wise men die. Likewise, the fool and the brutish person perish and leave their wealth to others. Verse 20. Man that is in honor, who's in honor right now? The so-called white man. Man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. Let me get these two precepts and I'm finna get my list because I got a list here. And this video might be too long to go to what is it? I got what's the name link with my YouTube channel. What's the channel? I'm not BitChute. Odyssey. Because I'm at what, an hour and 30 minutes. It don't matter. It done went out. This is Job. No, let me get the one in the Psalms first. This is Psalm 64. Because the Lord been using these bastards against these bastards. Psalm 64 and 7, but God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Because when you read 1 through 6, the so-called white man been shooting at us since they've been in power. So now, but God shall shoot at them with the arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. This is Job 15 and 5, and it reads, for thy mouth uttereth thine iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thy own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yea, thy own lips testify against thee. So we can get rid of this. Now, the title of the lesson, the judgment written, signed, and sealed, watching prophecies manifest. So the first one I want to get is this is in Genesis 9 and 6. Lord willing. This is Genesis. I told you, if you ain't in for the long run, you might well slide. This is Genesis 9 and 6. Whoso shed of man's blood by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of power made he man. So what do? You got to pay for this. And I want to hit these. Exodus. You got to pay for this, man. All this is coming back now was already signed, sealed, and written, man. Long ago. Exodus 21 and 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Let me show you something. Job. This is Job 20 and 18. I'm gonna read this and show you how this is in the law. So Esau got to pay for this, man. Job 20 and 18. That which he labored for shall he, what, Lord? Restore, and shall not swallow it down. Have you ever been swallowed up? According to his substance. Whose substance? Amalek shall the restitution be. What's restitution, brother? You got to pay it all back. Let's get the word. Let's get the word restitution. According to the so-called white man's substance right now, and them niggas control every aspect of life on earth when it comes to food and water, housing, transportation, clothing. Watch.
Strong's H 8545 Temurah. Temurah.
You see it say barter? The Lord set up a barter system, man. If you don't know what the word barter means, go look it up. Compensation. We all know what compensation means, right? Restitution. Change. That which is exchange. Exchange. Substitute. Let me get mine, man. Let us get what's rightfully ours. Your whole house gonna suffer, man. Hold on. Job 20 and 18. Your whole house gonna suffer, Esau. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. And he shall not rejoice therein. Why, Lord? Because he have oppressed, what? The buzzword, oppressed, and have forsaken the poor. Who's the poor, Lord? So-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. They ain't talking about the poor Amaleks, the poor Edomites, because ain't none. Ain't no poor Amalek. The regular Edomites that you see at the grocery store, that you work with at the plantation, they don't even care about their own people, man. But the Lord set up a barter system for all of Israel. When King David ate, all Israel ate, man. All 12 tribes ate when King David ate, man. When Solomon ate, all 12 tribes ate, man. Because he have violently, and it's the violent man I read in Psalm 140, that's prepared for war all day long, because he have violently. What it say in Matthew 11 and what is that? Matthew 11 and 12. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent took it by force, man. The so-called white man, because he have violently taken away in house which he buildeth not. So dealing with the restitution, right? It say that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance. You can't put numbers on substance. The so-called white man own all the resources. So you can't say, oh, the Rothschilds were 500 trillion, or they were 500 zillion, the Rockefellers. You can't put a number on resources. So the Lord said, according to his substance. Hold on, what substance? What substance is, Lord? Let's see. These niggas own all the resources, man. Them cargo freights with those big containers on that come at the ports, all the ports, the so-called white man own them. There's a port in Florida, there's a port in every state. New York, there's a port in California, one in New Orleans. Any state that's on the waters, there's a port in South Carolina, there's a port in North Carolina. There's ports all around the globe. The so-called white man control them all. Michael Jordan and Oprah Winfrey, and I'm naming the high up ones, and Dr. Dre and Fruit Diddy and Jay-Z don't own no ports, man. They don't own none of them ships. The best thing Oprah Winfrey did for you, made you a pizza made out of cauliflower, man, which is a fucking hybrid vegetable anyway. You shouldn't be eating. They don't own nothing. The so-called white man do. But then they'll put their face, a Ciroc. That's Diddy face. Lil Wayne got, what's this, Bombay, whatever this garbage ass look is. That nigga don't own where they make the liquor at. As the apostle told us years ago, they use Jake to promote everything. This is the word substance.
Strong's H2428. Chayil. Chayil.
What? Look at all these buzzwords. Strength, might, efficiency, what? Wealth, and what? Army. Strength, ability, wealth, force. There's a buzzword for you. The kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent took it by force. Force, army, company, forces, goods, host, mighty, power, riches, strength, strong, substance, trained, valor, virtuous, wealth, army, resources. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Resources, man. Huh? He controls, the so-called white man controls everything. So now that we know, let's read this again, Job 2:18. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. Right? And he shall not rejoice therein. Now let me show you in the law when you take and you control the substance. This is Exodus 22:1. See, everything this nigga got, he got to give it up. And it's going to be through death by pain. See, they at least get to escape. So this is them thinking. So their mindset is like the movie, which I like the movie, the last X-Men. When he said, I've been called by many names, Ra, Elohim, right? When Jean had transformed into the Phoenix. This Esau think he gonna rise out of the ashes. No, nigga. We gonna peel the top back on them goddamn bunkers. Here, put this chain on, boy. Lord will be elect. Whoever the elect is, they gonna peel the top back on them bunkers. And you can put these chains on. Yeah, you gonna rise right into captivity, boy. You finna go overnight from riches to rags. Rags to riches. Rags to riches. Exodus 22 and 1. If a man steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 ox for an ox. I got to give you 5 back for one, thus saith the Lord. And 4 sheep for a sheep. What? 4. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. Why? Because the nigga died during his breaking up. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed. What? For him. That's the numbers 35 and 33. Blood that was shed, your blood got to be shed. Exodus 20 and 23. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him, for he shall make what, Lord? Full restitution. Full restitution? Full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be what, Lord? Sold for his theft. Guess what? The scriptures say in Job 3, and it's also in Isaiah 45, we're going to sell you to the dicky boys. Judah shall sell your children to the Sabians. Don't worry, we waiting. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his death. Verse 4, it reads, if the thief be certainly found, what? If the theft be certainly found in his hands alive. Are we still not found in the hands of the so-called white men alive? I say, yeah. Exodus 22 and 4. If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be an ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double. That's what the Lord said. They got to drink double of what we drunk. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, it tell you in Obadiah, it's also in Jeremiah 49, Esau will not leave no grapes. He gonna take each and every last one of the grapes, man. That's how what's the word? Gluttonous this nigga is. He cannot be satisfied. That's Habakkuk 2. If a man shall cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, he came over here, took Gad, Reuben, and Issachar. We read Ezekiel 35 and Ezekiel 36. He took our land and said it's his. Right? That's our field. And shall feed in another man's field, they still in our land. Of the best of his own field and of the best of his own vineyard shall he make restitution. They got to pay for this shit, man. Verse 6. If fire break out and catching thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindleth the fire shall surely make restitution. Hold on. What is saying First Ezra 1 and 45? I must be allowed to read this, Lord willing. Exodus, Salakia, First Ezra 1 and 45. You Edomites is going to pay dearly. It reads, I'm sorry, First Ezra 4 and 45. It reads, thou hast vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldeans. If fire break out and catching thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that what, Lord, kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. See, if a man should deliver unto his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him pay double. You gotta pay. Moving on. We watching all these things happen in Babylon the Great. This is Amos chapter 9 and 8, and it reads, Behold, the eyes of Yahweh Shema shall power upon a sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. Sinful kingdom. 2/3 of Israelites. Saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahweh. The Lord said in Judges 2, the last verse, that he left us in the midst of these heathens, that he may prove Israel. Go read it. That he may prove Israel. He said he will no more drive out our heathen, our enemies, because he's proven the remnant of Israel, man. So living amongst these heathens is supposed to vex your spirit every day, man. The minute the Lord woke you up to this truth, whoever you is, you occupant not walk, you have been vexed ever since the Lord woke you up, because now we know we are living amongst these heathens, and it vexes us to know that these niggas is demons. Eat abominable foods, commit abominable acts, and we got to deal with it. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. So all the elect gonna be saved. All the sinners are my people. The Lord say, all the sinners are my people. In Leviticus 26 and 46, it reads, these are the statutes, judgments, and laws that the Lord made between him and Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. So the only one that can commit sin, iniquities, are Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say that evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So the Lord finna get all these heathens and 2/3 of his own people. This is Zephaniah. Let's get this. Which I'm on 1 and 12. Cause these niggas think they finna get away, man. Most of Jake think ain't nothing finna happen. That's most people. Oh, so lucky. Hold on. Most people think ain't nothing finna happen. This is Zephaniah. 1 and 12 it reads, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles. You Israelites, man, and punish the men. See, this is a cut to them slow bellied niggas, Sakari, man. And it shall come to pass, and I'm thinking about doing a lesson on that too, because I can pull a lot of precept to prove that Jerusalem is the people, not the fucking place, man. But anyway, them niggas doing that purposely. They doing that purposely because they won't. See, this the Lord. The Lord got them saying that. So the apostles and the other bishops and elders and brothers, GMS and like-minded brothers that's following the same doctrine of Yahweh Shema Shah can put these niggas in check. And see, it ain't about them getting in order. It's about you have been warned. They have been warned. The Lord, remember, the Lord said the deceive and deceive are his. So the Lord got Nate and all these, whoever else. The niggas got taking videos of eating pork, bacon bits, ribs. Listen, this is to warn you have been warned. So you can't say, Lord, I ain't know. This is about Jake getting warned, man. That's all. They're going to continue to do what they want to do because they hate order. This is about the Lord is about order, man. Everything's going to be done decently and in order. So when they doing something different, the Lord got them doing that so they can be corrected. And anybody that's following them, as it says in Ezekiel 14 and 9, Jeremiah 14, 13 through 16, anybody that's following these groups, you have been warned. Some gonna come out of it, some ain't. But remember, it's the Lord that got them saying, oh, Jerusalem, oh, it's talking about Jerusalem. It ain't talking about the peoples of Israel. You slow-bellied niggas. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles. What? And punish the men. So Jerusalem is men? Yup. And punish the men and women that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil. Yes, he do. The Lord is a just balance. That's Proverbs 11:1. Proverbs 16:11. The Lord is a just weight. He said all the balances of the bag is his, man. But you got 2/3 saying the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. Why are you saying that? Because it ain't came to your house yet? Because calamity hasn't knocked on your personal door? Well, just keep living. Calamity is going to knock on your personal doors soon. And it's going to be a lion and a bear and a black mamba. And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men. Right here, it's showing you that Jerusalem is talking about the men that are selling on their leaves. Yep. Just a lesson on that I was thinking about. But in the couple precepts, I can kill. We all, the apostles, brothers, elders that did videos on it. It don't even make no sense, man. It's garbage. And all that's doing is distracting 2/3 away from the prophecies, man. Cause that RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, is mainstream media. And them niggas trying to divert. And you can't divert. Cause nigga, we all over this. Jeremiah 9:23. Thus saith Yahweh, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. You got niggas that's all they do is lift weights, they bodybuilders, or they some marksmen, 30-year sniper. Let's say, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom. You got these super deep wannabe, these so-called scholars. There ain't no scholars, man. The scholars is at GMS, man. And brother teach same sound doctrine of Yahweh Shema Bashai, man. Sakara said, ain't no scholars in GMS. Apostle Gabar cut that in half instantly. Slow bellied niggas, man. Let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am Yahweh, which execute loving kindness for the hopeful elect, judgment for 2/3. The hopeful elect gonna get judgment too, righteous judgment, because they waiting to see the fall of their enemies, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things that delight, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will punish all them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised, Egypt and Judah and Edom and the children of Ammon and Moab and all that are in the utmost corners throughout the four corners of the earth that dwelleth in the wilderness. For all these nations are uncircumcised. That's why I read to you, I quoted to you Judges 2. The Lord said He's going to leave us in the midst of these heathens. He will no more drive out our enemies so He can prove the remnant of Israel, man. And all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in heart. It said, for all these nations are uncircumcised, the 17 of the nations, and all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in heart. That's the 2/3. So it said right here, but let him that glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me. Now in Isaiah, this is Isaiah 26:7, because the hopeful elect, man, they desire is in Yahweh Shema Shah. Isaiah 26:7. The way of the just is uprightness, though most upright do its way the path of the just. Yeah, in the way of thy judgments, O Yahweh, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. What's the remembrance of the Lord? Righteousness, judgment. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yeah, with my spirit within me, I will seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. And this will be through death by pain. For most, it's going to be death by pain. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. You're going to know that it's righteous not to sleep with an animal. You're going to know it's righteous for a man not to put on a dress or for a woman not to wear pants. You are going to know For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. You're gonna know not to eat pork. You shouldn't have ate it. You're gonna die by eating a little piece of shrimp, you slow bellied niggas. Let's get this. Psalms. Everything that's going on in the earth was already written a full time ago, man. These Edomites, they wiggling and squirming all around. But boy, oh boy, Psalms 89 and 14, you can't go nowhere. Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Do you know what habitation is? If you somewhere, you got your own little world. Everything in your world is according to how you want it, right? Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. You got your own little apartment or your own little house. Everything in there, you bought it. You fixed. You got your own blinds, drapes. You got your paintings, different paintings on the wall. You got your little whatnots. Whatever you got, your pictures. You type of flower, whatever carpet you want, whatever living room suit, table. You is to whatever in your refrigerator is what you eat. That's your habitation. Well, guess what? Justice and judgment are the habitation of thy throne. Mercy and truth shall go before thy face. And everything that's done in the earth is all righteous. Let me get this. This is Psalms 98 and 9. Let's read this. Before Yahweh, for he cometh to judge the earth with righteousness, shall he judge the world and the people with equity. Equity is the perfect balance. This is Proverbs 16:11. A just weight and balance are the Lord's. All the weights of the bag are his work. See, it is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for the throne is established by righteousness. This is why the so-called white man got to be removed, man. Because they tell you in let's get this in Proverbs 29 and 12, which goes to that Ecclesiastes 10, verse 1 through 3. This Proverbs 29 and 12, if a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked. The world has been turned upside down, so everything is wicked here, man. Let me get this in Lamentation. Because what's that? Zephaniah 3 and 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. Every morning do we bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. This is Lamentations 3 and 38. It reads, out of the mouth of the Most High proceedeth not evil and good. I just read Proverbs 16:11. It's just balance, man. Everything that the Lord do is righteous. Psalms. So you got this guy talk about fairy tale, the Bible, but then you want to quote. But that don't apply to the Palestinians. It applies to the so-called white man, the elites. And if you're an Edomite, and if you're a so-called white person today, and you got to go to work every day, you're a three-time loser, man. You are a three-time loser, man. The Greek Empire was established by the so-called white man, which they said this is when civilization started, right? The Greek Empire is when they established the sword. They established their wickedness. The Roman Empire is when they magnified the sword. They magnified their wickedness. The American Empire, which is the last great white hope, is when they perfected the sword. They perfected their wickedness. Psalm 145 and 17. Yahweh, who? Yahweh the Lord is righteous in all his ways and holy in all his works. What say ye, man? Yeah, everything that the Lord does is prophecy, perfection, justice, and judgment is the habitation of the Lord's throne, man. And let me get this in Bear with me. Let me pull this. They don't remove. I gotta redo this apocrypha. I had it up here. They done moved it. Bear with me. I wanna read this. Put it on the screen. I'm gonna close with this. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 6. And it's gonna be 1 through 4. All right, so let me put this up on the screen. Shalom, GMS Homesick Israelite. That's the brother in the camp, the brother Gabar, elder brother. Subscribe to the elder channel, edifying lessons. This is yep, that's on the mouth. I read that, Ezekiel 35, 28. Yep. By thy great wisdom and by thy hold on. Let me read that. Must be allowed to read this precept. This is on the mouth. Ezekiel 28 and 5. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic has thou increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Yep. And they're going to be brought down for that very same reason, man. Because they are not distributing the riches with equity, man. This is our GMS Homesick Israelite. Wisdom of Solomon 19 and 1. As for the ungodly, wrath come upon them without mercy unto the end, for he knew before what they would do. Yep. It's all predestinated, man. Pre-planned, man. The scriptures was already written. This is Ecclesiastes 6 and 1. And it reads, instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. And this is what has happened to the so-called white man. Even so shall a sinner that have a what? Double tongue. Now I just let you hear, Scott Riddle. That nigga had a double tongue, man. Double tongue, man. He didn't believe the Bible. He quote scripture. Then he say, we need to get rid of them. No, you one of them. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thy own heart, which we see these Edomites do daily. They've been doing it since they've been in power. That thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull strayed alone. Thou shalt eat up thy leaves and lose thy fruit and leave thyself as a dry tree. And that's Esau. And the scripture say he have spread himself like a green bay tree, which the Lord about to root these bastards up. This is the verse precept 4. A wicked soul shall destroy him that had it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. So we are watching the so-called white man being laughed to scorn. Now I want to go back to 1 because it say, instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, right? Then the Lord say, so you got ill name. Let's deal with this. You got in Job 18, the Lord say, there shall be no name, no remembrance. Job 18, Isaiah 14, Jeremiah 49. Matter of fact, let's get them. So it say, thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Watch this. Let's get these. I'm going to close with these 3 precepts. Bear with me. Let me get these 3 precepts. Ill name, right? It said ill name, shame, and reproach. I got to get these because I love to go to them. This is Job 18. When you start at verse 5. So it say, let's start at 5 here. Yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. Now, candle, right? I gotta stay closed in because I go way outside the box on this candle. So real quick, 1 precept for this candle. This is Proverbs 20 and 27. Now listen to this. It said the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. That candle, right? It's Proverbs 20 and 27. Where does his candle come from? Who's lighting the so-called white man's candle? Proverbs 20 and 27. The spirit of man is the candle of Yahweh, search of all the inward parts of the belly. See, mercy and truth preserve the king, and his throne is upholden by mercy. James 2 and 13 said the so-called white man showed nobody no mercy. So this nigga gets no mercy. The steps of his strength shall be straightening, and his own counsel shall cast him down. What we just saw Scott Ritter saying, that's his own counsel. Yep. His own counsel is casting him down now. That's the Obadiah 1 and 7. All the men of that confederacy have brought thee to the border. Right? For he is cast into a net by his own feet and walked upon the snare. The jinn, who is this jinn? Yahweh Shai. The jinn shall take him by the heel. Hold, I got to get a precept. In Hosea 12 and 3, listen to this. He took his brother by the heel in the womb, and by his strength he had power with God. So who is this jinn? It's Yahweh Shai. Because it say in Hosea 12 and 3, he took his brother by the heel in the womb, and by his strength he had power with God. Jacob took Esau's heel in the womb, right? So it said the jinn shall take him by the heel, right? And the robber shall prevail against him. Who is this robber? Yahweh Shai. Because it tell you in 2 Peter 3 and 10 and 1 Thessalonians 5 that he's going to return like a thief in the night. So, and the robber shall prevail against him. Now, dealing with this part here, the jinn, which is a trap, a snare, shall take him by the heel. Who came out of Jacob? Did it tell you in Numbers 24, a star shall arise out of Jacob, who shall have dominion? And it said he shall smite Edom. That's what it says. Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. Numbers. Let's get it. 24. This is Numbers 24. And it reads, I see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Seth. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he, who? He that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth for the city. Who remaineth for the city? Right here. And when he looked on Amalek, this is going to remain of the city because they get to go into the bunkers. All the other Edomites going to be destroyed, but the elites get to go into the bunkers. This is him that remaineth for the city. It tell you the same thing in Amos 9. It said, all they that flee away shall not flee away. Because they don't get to go into the bunkers. These is them that remaineth for the city. Yahweh shall out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion. So back in Job 18, verse 9, the jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber, Yahweh Shah, shall prevail against him. The snares laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. See, Yahweh Shah has a trap. Remember, he called him a stumbling block. To 2/3 of Jake, Yahweh Shah is a stumbling block. And they said, whoever fall on this stone shall be broken. But whoever this stone fall on shall be grinded to powder, man. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even who? The firstborn of death shall devour him. Yahweh Shah. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off, his whole lineage. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have what? No name in the streets. One of the words in that is Sirach 6 and 1. It said no name. It says name, shame, and reproach. Now, Isaiah 14, 22. Let's get this. And it reads, for I will raise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon what? The name. See it? The remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. Can't have no nephews from his brother. Can't keep the lineage going. Jeremiah 49 and 10. It said, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he, the name, Edomites, is not. See? The Lord's going to cut them off, man. Hey, so Lord will is edifying. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the bishop and elders of great millstone, rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all that can pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning. If your sisters are listening to all tuning in, may Yahweh Shema Shah continue to bless you in your houses. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Let me read this. This is Habakkuk 2 and 15. It reads, woe to him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, which is his draconian measures, his policies, his philosophies, his constitutions, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on thy nakedness. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. See, now everybody see the so-called white man got a turtleneck, man, and the nigga got a thong on, man, because he's a fruit booty pedophile. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Oh, Salakia. The other word said shame and reproach, right? Two more precepts. Proverbs. It can't go to my Odyssey account. I'm at over 2 hours, so it don't even matter at this point. Proverbs 18 and 3. It reads, when the wicked cometh, when who? When the so-called white man cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignominy reproach. I love to get the word ignominy, because on Google it tell you ignominy means it's a stigma, which is the RFID microchip is tied to the so-called white man. When you go to the word ignominy reproach in Proverbs 18 and 3 on Google, this word ignominy right here, 87036. Matter of fact, I think it tell you on here too. Let me see. Here's the word ignominy. It's a shame, disgrace, dishonor. See? No, it don't got in here, but it do got confusion. See? What's 87034? See, shame, reproach. It's all going back to the so-called white man. To disgrace, dishonor, be lightly esteemed, be dishonored. See? Treat shameful. It's a base. Yup. See? They the bases of men, man. Despise. That's another word. See? Hold in contempt, man. A fugitive and a vagabond should they be in the earth, man. So let's get this other one. Then you got the one I love to read in Psalms. Asaph said, when the Lord awake, he should despise that image, man. And this is what the Lord doing to the so-called white man. Psalm 73 and 20. As a dream when one awaketh, so O Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. What? Yep. The Lord is going to despise their image. H959. See it? To despise, hold in contempt. Disdain. And that's what Job said. I have disdained them to sit with the dogs of my flock, man. Regard with contempt, to be despised, to be despicable, to be vile, worthless. See? despise, disdain, think the scorn, vile person. That's the so-called white man. That's him. Esau, Edom. Yep. And the Lord has awoken, man. And he's despising these Edomites. Hey, so till next time I say shalom. For tuning in. May Yahweh Shema shall continue to bless you in your houses. May the blessing of elected be upon your houses. This is Isaiah from Jim Messolano Camp. Shalom. Hey, throughout all your precepts too. Throughout tuning in.